Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 2 of the Terra Scorcher Build. If you didn't get a chance to check out video 1, go ahead and check that out. It's on my channel. Also leave it in the playlist. On my build series, I make a playlist for them so that way you can kind of see all the episodes together. But yeah, we got a lot of done on pretty much the front and rear gearbox and was able to get those RcEvologic gold anodized pieces on. They look super fantastic. Rear sway bar, love how that works. Went with a Holmes Hobby 19-turn Retro Sport 540 motor. Love those stickers, those are awesome. So I think that'll add a nice little pop. It's kind of underneath the shell, but you'll still see it from time to time. Yeah, pretty much we're able to swap out most of the suspension shafts. Like I said, there's some that you're just not physically able to do, like these, because they actually go in to part of the transmission housing, so you'll never be able to get a little E-clip or C-clip back there. But yeah, so that's the rear end, all buttoned up and assembled. We have the front drivetrain, gearbox assembly. So, and if you guys want to check back on episode 1, I talk about this and how there's like a spacer and a thrust washer. They don't use a bearing, so you got to make sure that's seated. So go ahead and check that out on that particular one. And then, like I said, this is a kind of a nicer end kit. So those are the universals that are all assembled. Yeah, so we're gonna dive right in. I'm really excited. I actually want to see this thing, how the paint and the rims and everything are gonna turn out. But we're gonna dive in, finish up, I think, the cage on the rear, and then we're gonna move to the front. Spindles, uprights, arms, that shredded A5 part. So yeah, we're gonna slowly transition to the front end of the buggy. So we're gonna jump into a couple more time lapses, and then, as always, I'll go over the build, and hope you guys enjoy this one, and let's get started.
The stars, but you don't know a thing about me. And darling, I can tell you're a wrecking ball from afar. So how do you plan for us to stand the test of time, when all we could have has already crossed our minds? Beside me till you stand me up, just like a stranger. Nothing left, and as I hold my breath, I see a stranger. All you did was put me in danger. Through your disguise, I look into your eyes, just like a stranger. Stranger, you just wanna come over. Say we're in the past, moving too fast to look around. You say you wanna live in the moment, and you're talking real slow, but your lips don't make a sound. Make a sound. So how do you plan for us to stand the test of time, when all we can have is already crossed our minds? Beside me till you stand me up, just like a stranger. Nothing left, and as I hold my breath, I see a stranger.
All right, we were back. So nothing really changed on the back, just got the crash bar, rear bumper, whatever you want to call it on. There's that. And then got the front arms and gearbox and lower arms, spindles, knuckles, all that good stuff on. And more of those RcEvologic gold anodized parts. Look great. So I did have to, the holes going in there, I did have to bore those out, so I kind of had to stop and go down in the garage and just kind of ream them out a little bit bigger because it was too tight of a fit, so if you want to call it an issue. So there's that. And then I would recommend, I'll throw a picture up here, to do the front sway bar a little bit different, or maybe not necessarily different than what the manual says, but kind of in a different order or orientation, because it's impossible to try to get these to snap on. And the manual, the way it shows it has you kind of put these on and then put the sway bar through, but there's nothing to really grab the needle nose pliers on to get this clipped on around the ball. So yeah, I took it off. Then I needle nose, compress the brass ball inside there, and then you can put everything on. So slightly different, but kind of same as the front. I love that. Super mechanical. But yeah, everything feels really, really good. I did have to add some washers on the inside, so that way there's no play in the arms, but nothing binds or is too tight. Kind of feels really, really good. And then for these just come with the servos that I buy. They're just little rubber like inserts that go into the holes where you screw down the servo. And instead of using my nice spacers, because those disappear quickly and add up, I pretty much use these, and they compress, and yeah, it fills the gap of the slightly bigger suspension shaft. So yeah, those turned out really, really good. And then what else? Same thing, yeah, we're not able to use the screw pin or the suspension shafts up here. Well, you would one, but it just doesn't make sense because it kind of goes into the gearbox housing, and obviously there's no way you can ever put an E-clip or C-clip on that. So I just use the screw pins up there, kind of same as the rear. But yeah, everything turned out super, super good. Really excited for that. So we're gonna move on to front shocks, finish up, actually no, the rear shocks, and then finish up the rear end, and then we'll move on to the front shocks and finish up the front shocks. So I'll get those knocked out, and then I'll be back to update you guys. Go, man, when everything is done. Alright, and we were back. Those rear shocks on. Pretty much got all the shocks done, but they feel really, really good. And there's a ton of adjustability on this buggy, so you can mount the shocks at different angles. Yeah, it's a really, really nice kit so far, but that's the rear shocks on and mounted. And then we were able to get the front shocks on and mounted. These fronts feel exceptionally good. A little bit more travel than the VQS, but they actually feel, if not the same, slightly better. This is now the second Tamiya kit with dual shocks that I've built, so I can really only compare it to the VQS, but like I said, I think these actually might feel a hair better and you get a lot more travel out of them. So yeah, tons of adjustability. Love the way the sway bar works on both the front and the end of this kit, or the front and the back of this kit. But yeah, really, really good. And I definitely like the, I don't know if I'd like the blue, but I like the blue and the gold and all the yellow. I think it actually goes together really, really good. So very, very happy with that. I'm gonna move on to electronics. Some of it I'll do on camera. Some of it I won't, just because, yeah, just wire details and mocking 50 million times before I get it in there. But yeah, I'm gonna get those electronics knocked out, and then I'll be back to give you guys an update. All right, and we are back. Did some work off camera, but I was able to get the servo mounted in there, and this one's kind of different. You got to mount the ESC on top of the servo, and then the receiver goes back here. This was pretty tight. I thought the Super Saver was pretty compact, but yeah, this is kind of all enclosed and limited on space, but they make it work. So yeah, everything turned out pretty good on that one. Got the servo mounted, like I said. Lead wires over here, motor lead wires over here, and yeah, pretty nice, simple tub chassis on that one. So I think what's next is we're gonna get onto the steering, and this thing has a pretty gnarly steering setup, definitely unique. It's hard to explain. I'll pop a picture up, but it's like arms, almost like trailing arms or suspension arms set up, but fully adjustable, kind of like the rest of the suspension. So yeah, pretty gnarly, but that'll be intriguing to build. So this will wrap up the second episode of episode 2, the Terra Scorcher. If you guys are not outside playing with the RC cars, get them off the shelf, dust them off, get them dirty, play with them. That's what they're made for. And look forward to talking with everybody on this video and on the next one.